What's up guys, it's Kayla.
And Jim.
Welcome back to another Meteorology Monday. What are we talking about today?
Today we are going to talk about the newly released 2024 Atlantic Hurricane Prediction by NOAA. We read it over and there's some things we're interested in. Number one is, of course, what everybody wants to know. How active is the season going to be? Is it going to be above normal, below normal? What are the impacts? Other things that they put out was new technologies and other upgrades that they've done. So we're going to look into all those things, but before we get started,
if you find that you're enjoying the video along the way, be sure to leave a like and subscribe down below so you never miss the next Meteorology Monday.
Okay, so before we get into the prediction, we do have to make this statement, and that is that this is not a probability of landfall.
Correct.
It's just a probability of development. This video and this prediction that we're reading from is solely for the Atlantic Basin and Gulf of Mexico. They do issue one for the Eastern and Central Pacific as well, but we're just going to focus on the Atlantic region as well as the Gulf of Mexico and Caribbean. So now for the prediction part, I'm going to read excerpts from their report because they lay it out pretty good. NOAA National Weather Service forecasters at the Climate Prediction Center predict above normal hurricane activity in the Atlantic Basin this year. NOAA's outlook for the 2024 Atlantic hurricane season, which spans from June 1st to November 30th, predicts an 85% chance of an above normal season, a 10% chance of a near normal season, and a 5% chance of a below normal season.
So let's pause right there for a second and kind of explain what those percentages are. An 85% chance of an above normal season. So that is not saying that 85% of the season is going to be above normal, but there's an 85% chance that it's going to be more active than in previous years.
That's right. So let's throw some tangible numbers out there. If they are predicting an average season being, let's say, 12 to 15 named storms that would form, there's an 85% chance that it would be above that 12 to 15 range.
And there's also only a 5% chance that it is below normal, so it looks like something interesting is going to happen this year in the Atlantic. NOAA is forecasting a range of 17 to 25 total named storms, winds of 39 miles per hour or higher. Of those, 8 to 13 are forecasted to become hurricanes, with winds of 74 miles per hour or higher, including 4 to 7 major hurricanes, categories 3, 4, or 5, with winds of 111 miles per hour or higher. Forecasters have a 70% confidence in these ranges. So just like with the percentages that we just talked about, now let's break down how the lawn people are just outside doing, don't take lunch breaks apparently. Just ignore them. So talking a little bit about numbers again, 17 to 25 named storms and forecasting about 7 major hurricanes out of those 17 to 25. Now this is not, like we said in the beginning, a landfall forecast, which means that there's a high likelihood that most of these will stay out in the ocean and never touch land. And the forecasters have a 70% confidence that this is going to be the numbers for the season. Now, this could be a season where we see a bunch of major hurricanes, but none of them impact any states, or it could be another season like 2005. It's just something that we'll have to see as the season progresses.
That's right. So when you hear these outlooks, think more in line with development versus landfall. What are the chances that this number of storms is going to develop?
Yeah, and sometimes they develop and then they fall apart in the same day. So, and it still counts towards the number because
That's right.
It was a tropical storm or higher for a certain amount of time and it counts towards the number.
That's right.
They're back! Why are they back?
After the garbage truck goes by. Holy cow, what a day!
We should just leave.
Nobody eats lunch around here.
What a disaster of an afternoon. There's not even any garbage cans on the street right there. What is he doing? Is he knocking on the door and saying, "Can I take out your trash?" I think he's gone. He's not gone.
The squeaking of the brakes. Hey, if you guys have garbage trucks that have squeaky brakes, comment below. So let's get into some of the factors on what led up to this forecast. The upcoming Atlantic hurricane season is expected to have above normal activity due to a confluence of factors including near record warm ocean temperatures in the Atlantic Ocean, development of La Niña conditions in the Pacific, reduced Atlantic trade winds, and less wind shear, all of which tend to favor tropical storm formation. As one of the strongest El Niños ever observed nears its end, NOAA scientists predict a quick transition to La Niña conditions, which are conducive to Atlantic hurricane activity, because La Niña tends to lessen wind shear in the tropics. At the same time, abundant oceanic heat content in the tropical Atlantic Ocean and Caribbean Sea creates more energy to fuel storm development. This hurricane season also features the potential for an above-normal West African monsoon, which can produce African easterly waves that seed some of the strongest and longer-lived Atlantic storms. Finally, light trade winds allow hurricanes to grow in strength without the disruption of strong wind shear and also minimize ocean cooling. So that's their prediction as of the end of May 2024. They're going to come out with an update sometime in August of 2024, right before the peak of hurricane season here in the tropical Atlantic. So we'll keep an eye out for that as well. And that's kind of a segue to, let's look at what happened last year and compare it to this year. Editing Kayla is going to put up a graphic to show 2023's Atlantic hurricane season.
As you can see, they predicted 12 to 17 named storms, 5 to 9 hurricanes, and 1 to 4 of those being major hurricanes. In 2023, the hurricane season had 20 named storms, 7 hurricanes, and 3 of those were major. Pretty solid prediction there. They underestimated how many named storms, but hurricanes and major hurricanes pretty spot on there within that range.
Yeah. So now if you think about it, they have a 70% confidence that this year is going to be much more activity across the board compared to last year. Again, doesn't mean landfall, but number of developed storms is higher for this year. That's their prediction. And for those of you that are interested in what are these things going to be named this year, Editing Kayla will throw up another graphic on the names for the 2024 Atlantic tropical cyclone season.
We got some interesting names this year. What do we got?
The Jeff Gordon Hurricane.
Jeff Gordon Hurricane. The William Byron Hurricane. The Richard Patty.
Richard Patty. Wow, a lot of NASCAR people on here.
If you remember last year when we did this video for the 2023 hurricane season, we went over some of the new technological advances and tools. So let's go ahead and pop up this year's list. Now there was something interesting on this list that we would like to delve into more.
That's right. Not only is there going to be that forecast cone, but there's also going to be watches and warnings associated with that. So that's going to be interesting in the graphic, how that works. That's really nice because now you're not having to go to different sources. You'll get it all on the one graphic if I'm reading that the way it's intended. And again, that experimental product will be used more so for the continental US, so in places like Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic, and it doesn't look like it's going to encompass those areas. It's going to encompass more of just the continental US. But you got to start somewhere, so it's going to be interesting. All right, and the last part that we're going to be talking about is system upgrades. What kind of upgrades are they going to do there? So Editing Kayla is going to pop those up right now.
I just did. Did you see it?
So one of the things I saw on here that I thought was very interesting was sail drones, the use of sail drones, and they're incorporating a new technology for stream drones. We had touched upon those, I think last year
I think it was last year, yeah.
And we wanted to do something, it didn't really work out with timing and everything else, but this year I actually want to spend a little time and do some research on those, and we can provide that to you in another Met Monday of this newer technology. And again, it's more along the lines of them using unmanned and gathering more data in areas that obviously there's not a whole lot of observation sites out there. They have to send the Hurricane Hunter aircraft out, but again, you're not getting the surface, what's truly going on at the surface, and so they're trying to get a lot more surface reporting technologies in place versus what we have now.
Over the ocean.
Over the ocean, exactly. So that's going to be interesting. We'll do a follow-up video on the sail drones and anything else that they've incorporated on the oceanic surface.
Yeah, always cool to have a tech video to do the tech side of Meteotech, you know?
That's right. Hey, Meteotech weather. Cool name.
So there you have it, NOAA's 2024 Atlantic Hurricane Season Prediction. Again, if you like what you saw, be sure to leave a like and subscribe down below so you never miss the next one. As with all of our videos like this, if you want to read the full article for yourself, it'll be linked at the top of the description box, as well as our social media if you want to follow us over on our weather adventures. Also in the description box, you will find a link to our School of Weather. If you want to spend your summer learning a little bit about meteorology, we've got a couple videos on severe weather and hurricanes specifically in our Tier 2 package, so go ahead and check that out. Until next time, I'm Kayla.
And I'm Jim.
Thanks for watching.
And we'll see you at the next Meteorology Monday. What was the other thing I was thinking? Hold on. Please hold.